Next on Sisterhood of the Second Act.
When Dana Long retired, she went from a career in debt collecting and auditing to crafting a business that draws creativity out of her clients. Through Let's Party Creatively, Dana offers plant and paint parties. And our guest, Lisa Broyden, is an occupational therapist who saw a need and created a product. We're all told to wash our hands for 20 seconds, but not everyone does it. So Lisa created a product called Germ Zap that is a fun way to get this task done. We're going to interview both of these ladies today on Sisterhood of the Second Act.
Sisterhood of the Second Act is brought to you by... There's more inside the Hemp Mill than CBD products. There's a community. Stop in for Friday's Coffee Talk to enjoy free hemp coffee and treats. Patent-pending products made from hemp for anxiety, pain relief, and organic healthy eating. Cannabinoid products you can trust because the hemp is locally grown, processed, and formulated by us with patent-pending formulations. That includes our Pet Calm and dog biscuits. The Hemp Mill, women-owned and operated with nutritional offerings, local cards, gifts, jewelry, and trending fashions made by women-owned businesses. TheHempMill.net.
I'm going to be an oak tree.
I think I'll be a dogwood tree.
My kids said they'd be looking for a thorny tree for me.
With Evergreen, you can be a tree. Our biodegradable urn combines your ashes, natural soil additives, and a native tree of your choice. Be a tree and grow for tomorrow.
I want to be a tree.
Learn more at evergreenmemorialtrust.com.
See where a grateful nation remembers its heroes, and where Thomas Jefferson came to relax. Where small town charm is just down the road from big outdoor adventures. Find peace and quiet, as well as the sounds of family fun. Destination Bedford is located where the Piedmont Plateau meets the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Where ordinary ends, Bedford begins.
From the Fox Radio Roanoke Studios, here's Kathy Heberle.
Welcome to Sisterhood of the Second Act. I'm Kathy Heberle, and today we're talking to two women who are living their dreams. And with me right now, I have Dana Long, who has made quite a change in her careers over the years. So Dana, tell us a little bit about what you used to do and what you're doing now.
Right. Well, I worked in bank auditing, tax auditing, and tax collecting, and it was quite a stressful job, and it was nothing like what I'm doing now. I used to joke and say that when I quit working in taxes, I'll work in death, because I thought a funeral home would be really a very safe place to work. It's beautiful surroundings and soothing music, but instead I did something else.
So what are you doing? You have a business called Let's Party Creatively.
Yes, exactly.
Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, I started out doing mostly social gardening and succulent parties, and then I expanded into doing paint parties, wreath making, anything that's DIY and crafty. And I specialize in bringing the types of projects and events to people that doesn't require any special skill or talent.
Very good. So I know you were doing parties, and then probably with COVID and everything, have you had to do any changes to how you do your business?
Oh, we have definitely had to pivot. Most of our business, we were going out to restaurants, wineries, breweries, and places where people could come and meet, and congregate, and 25 to 50 people at a time. But we had to pivot and start doing Zoom classes. So we provide kits, either we mail it to people or we deliver it, and then we do Zoom. And the greatest thing about Zoom is that now we can reach so many more people, because we can do them if a relative lives in Phoenix, Arizona, a relative lives in Maine. We can get everyone together and have the party together.
Well then, why did you start your business?
Well, I've always been a creative person and a crafty person, but I had to put all of that aside when I started working my career and raising my children. So my children went to college, moved away out of state, and it was just the perfect time to get back to what I always wanted to do, and that was to be painting and working with plants. I've been working with plants my whole life, so it just made a perfect sense to have a business where I dealt with plants, and we would have plant parties, and I teach people about plants, and now I'm teaching people about art.
So what services do you offer? Like what is I know you do more than just having paint parties, and you do plants, and what else?
Yes, well, I do team building, I do fundraising, I work with all ages of people, whether it's a bridal shower, a birthday party, or just a special event for families or a school to get together. And I also work with seniors in retirement homes, and that's so rewarding to see people that sort of come out of their shell when they're planting with a plant or doing a painting, because a lot of times the seniors are often overlooked or neglected and don't have the resources available to them to do some of this fun stuff.
So I have a question about if people have a special project that they want to do, like maybe making terrariums or something. Can they request that, and how does that work? How can they?
Absolutely, they could reach out to me. I do air plants, cacti. We make under the sea terrariums. We do all kinds of creative things. I'm doing an acrylic pour party for a company next week. So we're doing all different types of art. If you see something on Pinterest, you have an idea, call me or message me on Facebook. My page is @CreateRoanoke, or check out my website and message me there, and we'll work something out.
Well, we want to encourage, our show is all about encouraging women who maybe are entering a different phase of their life. And since you pivoted from a different background and career and made your dreams come true, what advice would you give to these women that are thinking, gee, I don't want to retire and have nothing to do. I have some ideas, and how can they pursue that? How can they get that idea, and actually you've turned it into a business?
Yes. Well, I used a lot of resources. I worked with a small business development group, and they were with me all the way when I first got started. They helped me with coming up with a name, colors, logos, getting my website going, and then they connected me with other resources. I would also advise them to consider doing the Gauntlet every year. That is a very worthwhile thing. It takes you through thinking through all the processes that you need to do to start that business and to develop it. Also, do your own market research. See what other people are doing out there. You may think you want to do one thing, and once you start looking, you may go, oh, this looks like more fun over here. So,
well, I love that idea, and I think as women we need to encourage each other, and it's nice to know that there are resources available. And then, how has your business evolved over time? It sounds like it started with plants?
Right, exactly, Kathy. We began just doing plants. I did social gardening and plant parties, and then eventually I grew my network and cast my net further and began to know more people, and it opened the door to be able to offer more things, such as paint parties. But there again, I like to do things that doesn't require any talent or skill, because that sometimes scares people from doing something. So I offer them like pour acrylic paintings, wreath making, candle making, just all different types of arts and crafts.
So you don't have to be an artist to enjoy your classes.
Absolutely. I teach tips and techniques that makes it easy for anyone.
All right. So is there a minimum number of people that you would like for one to maybe ask you to do an event for them? Do you have any kind of requirements?
Not really. I mean, I would prefer to have 10 people or more, but if it's a small business, I have done it for a small accounting office with 3 people, or to another office that only has 6 employees. So I'll work with them.
Okay. And then I love the idea of team building. So how does that work as a team building?
Well, usually we do an event, like in this case, the one I'm doing next week, we're going to be doing pour acrylic painting. And some of the people maybe are feeling shy about working with their other coworker because they're in remote offices. So we bring them together. We start it off fun. We start asking each other questions. Look at your coworkers' project, isn't that pretty? Everyone compliment everyone. And then we do some exercises to get people to describe the other person's thing that they made, and it sort of opens people up, and then they've got a little bit more camaraderie going on, and they get that that team building starts to happen.
I can see that.
Yeah, and then they take whatever they've made, they take back to their desk, and it's a reminder throughout the year of, wow, we all came together and we had fun as a team. So it's very rewarding.
I love that idea. Mm-hmm. So the other thing I think we mentioned was fundraising.
Yes.
And I think that is I think women have on our hearts oftentimes, it's like we want to do something, we would like to maybe make some money, but we want to make sure what we're doing has an effect on the community. And obviously that would be really great thing. So how does that work in your business?
Well, I work with whatever, whether it's a school or it's a church or it's a nonprofit. I work with them. So how much money do you need to raise? And then we try to set price points that they think would meet their budget and where that people would want to participate, knowing how much money would go towards that charity.
Yes.
And then we decide, are we going to do plants or we want to do paints? What do your customers really, what do your donors really want to do? And we customize it for that charity.
Very good. So tell me, what do you find most rewarding about your Let's Party Creative?
Oh my gosh, the thing I find most rewarding is that so many people come to me and say, I don't have an artistic bone in my body. I cannot draw a stick figure. I can't do anything. Okay, Kathy, it's you. So those are the customers I love working with because I can show them tips and techniques that they really can create something beautiful. And you don't have to be a very talented artist to do some of the projects that I offer. I also feel a lot of reward from working with seniors. I have done quite a few wreath parties, paint parties, plant parties with them, and a lot of times they seem to come out of their shell. They connect with other people because they may tend to stay in their rooms all the time, and just seeing that spark and just seeing the happiness on their faces, it's very rewarding.
I love that. So what does the future hold for you? Where do you see this going, your business?
Well, I really see Zoom continuing to stay for a while because that's the way you can connect to people all over the country. But I see it really beginning to blossom and bloom now that, more people are ready to get back in person. People have been tired of staying inside and, not going out, not socializing, and people have the need to be with other people. So I think it's really going to blossom and explode this year.
I love that. So thank you for being with us today, Dana. And we will have a link to your information and to your website on our website, sisterhoodofthesecondAct.com. And I think that when people see you, they're going to be inspired. So thank you very much for coming over and visiting with us today.
Thank you, Kathy, for having me. It's my pleasure.
When we come back, Lisa Broyden's Germ Zap has gone from idea to patent pending, and you will meet her after this.
There's more inside the Hemp Mill than CBD products. There's a community. Stop in for Friday's Coffee Talk to enjoy free hemp coffee and treats. Patent pending products made from hemp for anxiety, pain relief, and organic healthy eating. Cannabinoid products you can trust because the hemp is locally grown, processed, and formulated by us with patent pending formulations. That includes our Pet Calm and dog biscuits. The Hemp Mill, women owned and operated with nutritional offerings, local cards, gifts, jewelry, and trending fashions made by women-owned businesses. TheHempMill.net.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-472-8060. 800-472-8060. 800-472-8060. That's 800-472-8060.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you. With the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do, and you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-654-9116. 800-654-9116. 800-654-9116. That's 800-654-9116.
Where there is nothing, artists see something. Where there is silence, they hear a melody. Where there is beauty, they create even greater beauty. In a region known for its beautiful mountain surroundings, our vibrant arts community makes the Allegheny Highlands a more colorful place to live and visit. Our passion for the arts is endless, and it's uniquely Allegheny.
Once again, from the Fox Radio Roanoke studio, here's Kathy Heberle.
Welcome back to Sisterhood of the Second Act. I'm Kathy Heberle, and I have as my guest today Lisa Broyden. And Lisa is the inventor of a GermZap?
GermZap.
Tell us about it.
All right. GermZap is a hand wash education system. It's real-time audio and visual education on how to wash your hands. So looking at just the way hand washing is important and all the mitigation techniques that are out there now, we actually thought this up a long time ago. So it educates you on proper hand washing, yet it also is able to track the user, the washer, whether it's an individual washer or an anonymous washer. We can know who washed and when, or if it's an anonymous with like a group, we can know timestamps of successful versus not successful washes. Then all that information goes to a cloud-based data website where you can go on and you can sort your events, you can look at your events, you can create actionable data based on that information. So the idea was you can't change anything unless you assess it. So being able to know where you are with washing then, so that you can help people be consistent with the habits, but you can also have documentation of your procedures and how you're making improvement over time to make your environment and your business and your clients safer.
So what environments are currently being considered for using this device?
Okay, so we have right now we have units in the trial phase with a school system locally. And what was fun is we had it on a silent data collection mode, and we had the kids washing unbeknownst to them what it actually was, and found that their correct hand washing techniques occurred 7% for girls and 9% for boys. Who'd have thunk? But so we did that for a while, and then we went ahead and trained the teachers who trained the kids, and we got them rolling with following the correct sequence. And it will say, try again if they don't do the whole scrub phase. But so then they were able to improve the compliance over 300% for that particular school, which was, or the grades in the school. So that was really cool. But one of the most important things, at least in my mind, is early habit development, habit formation, education, just up there with car seats and sunscreen and all that. But that being said, there's also needs to be a dollar value. Why would you want this product? So working on that, we're looking at children absences is directly tied to the amount of government funding you get. Students or teachers being absent costs a lot of money for substitutes and just missed time and productivity. So there is a dollar value on what would be saved using this unit. The original idea was actually for restaurants, and I had met some restaurant fellows, and they had been talking about how that would be helpful. And then there's no system like hospitals that's trackable, that lets you make modifications to make the environment safer and more clean. So the original idea was restaurants, but then in the middle of COVID, when all this happened, which was good because everyone was very aware of hand washing, was not so good because the restaurant shut down. So our niches right now are school systems and then restaurant, who obviously have money that they can save via prevention of outbreaks or employee sicknesses or damage to reputation.
We're talking with Lisa Broyden, inventor of the GermZap. So Lisa, what gave you the idea to create something like this?
It was just a thought, and I have to say, for all those women out there who just have this thought, we as women tend to be problem solvers and such. So I was on a cruise where they had a heightened germ alert. And so I'm already a healthcare professional. So, germs are just, I'm always very aware, but they were washing, walls, and they were washing the railings, and everything was, super clean. And, I thought, holy smokes,
Are people washing their hands?
Yeah, are they really washing their hands? So I'm like scrubbing away that. And then I had my mom got a hip replacement. And of course, I'm in the hospital, and it was my hospital where I work, but I was like the hand washing Nazi, because that's my mom. I mean, that's, now it's personal. So, right. But it just seemed like a good idea. But I was like, I'm just a therapist. I don't really know what I'm doing, And so, to all women with this stage of thought, do it, explore it, think about it, explore it, talk to people, get leads, get input. So I just charged down the path.
I love it. So how did you take this idea and turn it into a product?
So I had the idea, and the original name Germ Zap, we may look at how what we want to do with that. It was going to be a tiny little app, potentially on a parental phone with something in the home that would educate the kids. And the whole mom thing of smelling the kids' hands, looking for bubbles in the sink, checking wetness, all that. It'd be so cool if you could eliminate the whole nagging factor and just know that they're following the steps. And if they don't, it pings your phone and you say, "Oh, Johnny, go back and wash your hands." So that was the original thought, and I thought it was Germ Zap app, which I thought was pretty cool. But then the more we started exploring it, it just morphed and morphed. So I thought, all right, I'll put a little bit of money in the bank, and that's a good thought. And so while I'm at the bank fella opening the account says, "Oh, that's a cool thought. What's it for?" And I said, "What's this little idea I have?" So they said, "You should definitely look into the Gauntlet out of Vinton through the Advancement Foundation. That they have a competition and they train you with things, help you grow, and then there's a competition that might help with funding." So I thought, that's cool. So I go into the Gauntlet feeling like I know nothing. And again, for anyone who starts something like that and they feel like they don't know things, the beauty of the community in this area is that they will give you connections, they will give you leads, they will give you guidance. It was just unbelievable how helpful they were.
So do you feel like you needed a lot of courage to do this, or just a lot of help, like knowing where to go? Like for women that have these ideas, we're all, like you said, I love that, we're all very creative. And so when women have something bubbling around that's in there, what would you suggest to them? How can they maybe get some help with developing an idea?
Yeah, I would explore the local sort of like small business association and start doing some detective work, because very quickly I realized there's the Roanoke Valley Business Technology Council, there's different agencies, and then digging into them, find a support business help development program. There's actually lots of webinars that I found, hours of those you could learn. My luck, as it would have it, would be I entered the Gauntlet. The first day I'm just sitting there thinking, holy smokes, everybody else seems to know what they're doing. They have an idea. I just got this little heap of thoughts. So they helped solidify it into, what is your thing? What is your value? And the whole idea of, well, I'm just going to make this and everyone's going to like it, that doesn't work. And that you need to see, what do you need? What is my idea solving? What problem did I notice that is an actual pain that would solve other people's pain problems? Yes. So really examining that, and then looking at what it takes and breaking it into steps and guidelines and worksheets and things like that. They were super helpful. I honestly would have never done this without the Gauntlet. They just help you with everything.
Right. So do you feel like this could become a full-time job maybe when you retire, or do you want to just keep doing what you're currently doing as an occupational therapist? Where do you see this fitting into your future?
I don't know. I love this. I love my job. I'm an occupational therapist, and I think that is super fun. But the exploration and the growth and the connections and the empowerment, the feelings of, I got this, are just taking off with this concept. If it got where it was very successful, I would love to be able to continue it in some form. I think I would probably need to get more professional help, but I would like to be able to do, both things moving into the future. But if this happened to take off, I certainly wouldn't cry. But right. It's just the exhilaration of all of a sudden you have this community, you have people to talk to, and I've actually, a lot of them, now that I think about it, actually were a lot of women, right. Women businesses that were offering help and guidance and mentorship, but the empowerment feeling and the, oh, I can do this feeling, and just my whole attitude of it, I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, we can save you this much money, we can keep your kid from getting sick, those right. Feelings are huge, and it's just a whole community empowerment thing that is just, cannot say enough about. If you have a thought, just explore it and come up. That's what we as women do. We see a problem and we come up with steps and we fix it. So
I love that. And I don't know that we have a lot of inventors in the Roanoke area. So I'm really glad that we have a woman that is pursuing this. And what is the status? You're applying for a patent.
Yes, we have a provisional patent based on the original prototype that we made for the Gauntlet, and we filed that in April of 2020. So provisional patents have 1 year before they expire, in which then you lose your placeholder. So again, with the Gauntlet and all the different small business things, I found a bunch of webinars that went me to the United States Patent Association that has universities that have pro bono programs, and I was super lucky to get into the Howard University, and so they have actually taken the provisional patent, and as we speak, they're converting it to a full patent with a utility and a design, and we're hoping there'll be enough time to get an international patent because it all has to be done at the same time.
Oh, it does?
So, yep.
See?
So we'll see, and it has to be submitted prior to April 13th. So as of April 12, 2021, I think we should be able to have that submitted, which is so exciting.
So your suggestion that if you have an idea but you don't have all the pieces, don't give up on it. There's help available.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
So my best thought would be, if you have an idea, explore it and figure out, like, why did you think of it? Like, what value does it have to you? And then start exploring what other help is out there, but don't just drop it, because there is a lot of help out there. So your sense of community and empowerment just shoots up, and it's just fun.
Well, I like that. I like your enthusiasm. I love your idea. I see so much value in it. I want to encourage other women, and I want to thank you for being a guest on our show, Sisterhood of the Second Act, and for helping women see the creative possibilities that we all have inside, and to encourage and nurture those. Yeah. And you never know what could come out of it.
You never know. Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
Not to plagiarize Nike too much, but women entrepreneurs, just do it.
Very good. Sorry. So we're going to post all of Lisa's contact information on our webpage at sisterhoodofthesecondact.com. Lisa, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
We'll be back to wrap up the show after this.
Nearly a third of Americans have cremains at home. The simple fact is, folks don't know what to do with the ashes of their loved ones. If you're seeking a meaningful way to honor your loved ones, we offer affordable final resting places in woodlands, family lots, and niches in our mausoleums. Our service fees are always inclusive, so your first cost is your last.
This really is a beautiful place. Your mother chose it.
Learn more at evergreenmemorialtrust.com.
You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. Well, maybe I am.
If you're buying a diamond ring for your wife, it's not cool to be cheap. If you're buying airline tickets, it's very cool to be cheap and called Trip Amigo, where you can fly anywhere in the world and save up to 75% on over 500 airlines and 300,000 hotels. Plus, rental cars and vacation packages. Visit family, friends, or go on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation. Go ahead, be cheap. We have special fares we're not allowed to publish. When you book your airline reservations with Trip Amigo, you'll spend your travel money when you get there, not by getting there. Call Trip Amigo now and mention the travel code AMIGO and save even more. Call Trip Amigo now.
800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. That's 800-772-4165.
See where a grateful nation remembers its heroes, and where Thomas Jefferson came to relax. Where small town charm is just down the road from big outdoor adventures. Find peace and quiet, as well as the sounds of family fun. Destination Bedford is located where the Piedmont Plateau meets the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Where ordinary ends, Bedford begins.
I want to thank Dana Long and Lisa Broyden for sharing their stories with us today, and for letting us know that if you have an idea for a business, even if it's very different from your current career, that you can turn that into something very rewarding. And if you have an idea for a product, a little bit of courage and a lot of optimism can take your idea and turn it into a product. I'm Kathy Heberle. Join us next week for another edition of Sisterhood of the Second Act.